Hey guys, so today we're going to be breaking down the Dragon Ball DAIMA half of Part 2 for Legends Fest 2024. So we have Tamagami number 3, and then we do have the full kit actually revealed here on the official website for Mini Super Saiyan Goku. We'll start with Tamagami 3. We don't have his full details. We'll have it tomorrow, but at least we can get a glimpse at what this character is going to do. He is purple, which is, I would say, a little tough to run right now, just because of a certain Yellow Ultra Vegeta Clan character. He's a defense type, and he actually does not have the androids tag, which I was thinking about whether or not they would give him that. This guy really isn't an android. He's essentially just a machine. I mean, there's a difference between an android. An android is... It's a machine that's created in the form of a person. Is literally what it's Jinzo Ningen, which is like artificial human, is essentially what it's supposed to mean. So I understand why he's not on there. It's just a little bit unfortunate that they didn't put him on Android. So his tags are DAIMA and Weapon Builder. So he's really gonna have to be like the ace in the pocket for this DAIMA and Weapon Builder setup here, or he's either gonna need to be just a like demon in the leader slot for his teams. Z-Build is going to buff Diamond Weapon Builder, of course. That's obvious. Powerful debuffs upon entering the battlefield plus recovery in a pinch. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Reduces enemy ki. Inflicts all enemies with -1 card draw speed for 10 counts. It's actually really annoying. Okay. Randomly destroys one enemy card. Seals all enemies' main abilities for 5 counts. That could be... We're getting a lot of transforming characters recently, so sealing main ability could actually be pretty annoying if you're trying to transform with like Goku Black or something. Seals enemies' special arts for 5 counts. Okay, so seals greens for 5 counts, and then seals Rising Rush for 5 counts. So a lot of sealing and disrupt going on. And the good thing about this is it's when he enters the battlefield, not on cover change. So even if the opponent drop combos or something, these effects are still going to activate, which is nice. Restores on health by 30% if owner remaining health is 50% or below after being hit by an enemy's arts attack while this character's in the battlefield 3 times. That's actually pretty annoying. Okay. A lot of healing on him there. Various Dragon Ball related abilities. Applies the following effects to self after gaining 3 or more Dragon Balls while this character is not defeated. 70% damage. Increases ki recovery. Doesn't even tell us how much ki recovery. Card draw speed. Oh, he gets permanent type neutrality defense. That's actually really good, obviously, for Majin Vegeta. Permanent type neutral defensively. Applies buff effect. Nullifies enemies. Reduce Dragon Ball effects for 50 counts. That's really good. That's one of the more powerful things that you can actually do right now, I think, just because there are so many characters that have many ways of destroying Dragon Balls, and with as many fights going to timer as they do, the ability potentially to get that second rush from nullifying the Dragon Ball reduction effects can be pretty strong. Increases own Dragon Balls by 2 when an ally activates Rising Rush. Okay, that is really strong. Yeah, again, this is actually... I don't know how big of a fan people are going to be of this gameplay style, I guess, or this design philosophy, but they are really encouraging second and potentially even third rushes now. 2 Dragon Balls when an ally Rising rushes. So like if you pair this guy up with Ultra VB, Ultra Vegito Blue, remember Vegito Blue gets a Dragon Ball when he rushes. You could actually get 3 Dragon Balls when you rush. Okay. They're obviously trying to push through this timer count meta. I mean, I think it's gotten better since the release of Vegito Blue. Prior to Part 1 of Legends Fest, when we had the Majin Vegeta Turles and Tree of Might Goku meta, you were just going into every single match just assuming it was going to timer, but looks like they are trying to work their way around that, which is good. That's all we have for this guy. I'm assuming he's also going to have either Endurance or Indestructible as well. So we'll have to wait and see to get his full details tomorrow. But we, of course, have Legends Limited Super Saiyan Goku Mini. Let's check out what this guy is going to be doing. Get stronger and stronger during battle. Legends Limited Super Saiyan Goku Mini is joining the fight. All right, so strengths. Number 1, special arts that buff self based on number of uses. Draw a green card and get permanent buff damage inflicted. Starting with the second use, you'll even nullify enemy endurance effects for 3 timer counts. Okay, all right. Number 2, get buffs when I glanced at this. yeah, he's red. Yeah, he's red, and he nullifies endurance. Okay. Get buffs when the enemy uses a big attack. Nullify unfavorable element factors when the enemy activates an ultimate or awakened arts. Okay, so he's type neutral against blues and ultimates, or I guess just ultimates and awakened, not blues. And gain endurance if they activate Rising Rush. Oh, that's just Beast, right? Blue Beast has the same thing. Goku will only get stronger as your opponent fires off big attacks, even when not on the battlefield. Okay. Number 3, charge the unique gauge by using arts. Okay, so it is an attacking style unique gauge, so from the first part. Sorry, I haven't had an update and I want to make sure my mic is still working. Same exact type of unique gauge as green, Vegito, blue from the first part. It's just we'll have to wait and see what the actual wording on it is to figure out how much it's going to take to fill the gauge up. Draws a special arts when you fill up the unique gauge 4 times. Do so when you can use the special arts into special move arts combo. Special move arts will consume the entire unique gauge to inflict no switching. Okay. All right. Superpower in a small package. Have a blast fighting your fiercest foes with Legends Limited Super Saiyan Goku Mini. So Saiyan, Sun Family, Daima, and Weapon Wielder are his tags. So he's on a decent amount of teams. I'm assuming that both Daima and Weapon Wielder are going to be eventually actual teams. If they're not going to be... I mean, they got to be actual teams because otherwise you're not going to be able to use this character, right? And then he's on Daima Saga, of course. Z ability is 38% to Daima, Sun Family, or tag Weapon Wielder, Base Strike, and Blast Attack, and 18% to tag Daima, Base Strike, Defense. Okay, so double offense. Did they... So they didn't... Let me just... Is he a melee attacker, or what is he? Let's see. He is melee. Okay. They don't tell us what the actual Z ability buffs are for the Tamagami. I think, isn't Glorio an HP buffer for Weapon Wielder and Daima? So I guess this guy probably will just be a defensive Z ability. Strike does have blast armor. Yep, that makes sense. Strikes have armor, so charge in without fear of enemy blast cards. The blast card has no ability on it. Blue card, if the unique gauge is full when you use this arts, you'll inflict all enemies with no switching, aim to KO a specific enemy. Deals massive explode damage, 40% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. If unique gauge is full, resets the gauge and then gives you inflicts no switching to the opponent for 3 counts, and of course it has blast armor. The green we know is a stop time, I believe, is what it showed in the animations. Buff self based on the number of uses. You can get up to a 90% boost to damage inflicted, and starting with the second use, you'll nullify enemy endurance effects. Since you'll draw special move arts, you can combo into special move arts from special arts. All right, so draws a special move arts card next. So he's going to draw a blue card, restores in health by 15% and ki by 50. 30% damage for 15 counts. This is like a main ability, this part right here. 15% health and 50 ki from this. Okay. There's no limit to how many blue cards you can draw from this, by the way. It doesn't say like once only. It's just literally infinite blue cards here. Also applies the following effects to itself according to the number of times special arts card heat charge is used. 40% permanent damage, 30% permanent damage, and then he gets endurance nullification. I was actually kind of maybe hoping he would have it be uncancelable, but I get it. Card 3 onward is 20% damage, activates once, so he's going to get 90% damage from all these. Minus 10 to special move arts cost or 15 counts, and then of course he maintains the endurance nullification, then cancels as we downgrades on normal conditions. The only thing I'll say about this, because they already told us that, yeah, this is going to inflict no switching here. Remember, Majin Vegeta, Majin Vegeta removes buffs when the enemy uses a blue card. Let me actually just pull this up so we can show this. It might be limited, though. Let me see. 3 times, yeah. Cancels enemies' buff effects every time they use a special move, ultimate, or awaken card while this character's in the battlefield. This kind of protects him from Daima Goku a little bit, because otherwise Daima Goku would just lock him in with the blue, and then like you would use the green to draw the blue, you would get endurance nullification, then you just lock him in with the blue and kill him. That would have been nice, right? If they just let you do that. they just wanted to eliminate Majin Vegeta from the game. But yeah, Majin Vegeta's gonna live. I mean, you can just remove his endurance, I guess, via this method, but he's gonna survive. The ultimate is nullify endurance effects on activation. Okay, use the ultimate arts when your unique gauge is full to reduce enemies' sustained damage cut effects. It's your chance to deal big damage. So the one thing we did see about the ultimate in the animations is this is actually a ranged ultimate. Every single ranged ultimate that we have is actually a projectile. So you are not able to like override an opponent's blast with these. I don't really think it's that big of a deal because you're not, most of the time, like 99% of the time, you're going to be looking to chain these into a combo you already have. But I personally just prefer melee ultimates because sometimes with a melee ultimate, you can get away with popping it in like melee range. Like sometimes you just want to pop your main in melee range to catch your opponent in a sidestep. And if you have a ranged ultimate like this, you don't really get to capitalize on that because your opponent can just strike through it, right? So he only gets massive, huh? Doesn't even get supreme. Massive impact damage applies the following effects self upon activation. 50% ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts. Nullifies enemies, restores health, and reaches 0 effects when this character attacks for 3 timer counts. Okay. Applies the following effects self on effects to enemy on hits. 50% to key recovery and -1 arch guard draw speed for 20 counts. Okay. Then if unique gauge is full, he gets -30% to enemy sustained damage cut effects. I feel like this is something he should just have without needing the unique gauge to be full. This is not like, I mean, it's helpful, but this is not like some game-changing ability here. Main ability, boosts your unique gauge charge rate while also restoring health and ki. Randomly destroys one of your own cards and draws as one arts card, Dome Speed Rush. 30% health, 50, or not, sorry, 50. 30, he actually gets more, he gets more ki on the green. Really? Okay. 30 ki on the main ability. Increases own Dragon Balls by 2. Yeah, this is playing into the thing I was talking about earlier, right? With Tamagami number 3, getting you, where is it? Next page. Increases Dragon Balls by 2 when an ally activates Rising Rush. You're immune to Dragon Ball reduction. And now Goku is giving you 2 Dragon Balls when he main abilities. So they're really pushing this Rising Rush meta here, which is kind of annoying because at the end of the day, Rising Rush is RNG, if you get guessed or not. 50% to own unique gauge charge rate for 20 counts. Nullifies own attribute downgrades in normal conditions for 20 counts. So this is obviously a strong main ability, but I'm trying to think about this here. So if you, I feel like a lot of times, here's what I'll say about this main ability. I feel like a lot of times you're gonna main and you're just not gonna ult, right? There's other things you want to be doing with the main ability, right? You want to use the main ability to increase your charge rate for your unique gauge and then ultimately not use this. You want to use your main ability to gain 2 Dragon Balls so that you can chain it into a green to give you endurance nullification, then you're going to Rising Rush. I feel like there's going to be a lot of cases where you're going to pop the main ability, but it's specifically not going to be because you want to ultimate. And so a lot of times I feel like you're just going to end up destroying this. It's kind of, it feels similar to Super Vegeta's main ability, and the reason why I say that is because Super Vegeta's main ability gives him his Vanish back. So a lot of times you're not looking to use his main ability because you're looking to land the ultimate. You're using his main ability to get your Vanish back, and that is the #1 reason why you would use it. And if you end up, discarding your ultimate in the process, then so be it. I think with this Goku, this is such a powerful effect that I think a lot of times you're probably just going to want to use this to get the Dragon Balls and then chain it into a green card that give you the Endurance Null and then Rising Rush from there. That's what I'm thinking with this, as opposed to using the ultimate. So I'm thinking maybe the ultimate isn't even that important on this character, but we'll see. Unique ability #1, boost strike damage inflicted every time you use a strike arts. Plus, you can nullify enemy special cover changes and destroy card effects just by entering the battlefield. Okay. Goku will have an easy time maintaining a combo, except for under specific circumstances. Goku has the powerful ability to nullify an enemy's wide range special arts 1 time. Just give him it like 4 times. Like, why once, right? AoE greens, I will continue to go on this crusade until they finally do it, which I don't know if they will ever do it, but AoE green cards should be discontinued. AoE green cards are bad for the game. Fight me on that one. I'll never back down from that position. Applies following effects self when battle starts 170% damage. That seems high. Hold on a second. What is Vegito at? 150. Wow, they're bumping up by 2 levels to 170. Okay. Remember, 6th anniversary, we were at 100. Now we're up to 170. They've just been bumping that up slowly. Reduced damage received by 70%. He gets 10% extra reduced damage received against impact damage. He gets card draw speed, and then minus 10 to strike costs for, or minus 10 to cost for strikes. This could make blasts be a little annoying. I mean, his blast cards are going to cost like 20, what is it, like 24 or whatever it is, without cost reduction. That's a lot. That's a lot. Falling effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. It restores own key by 30. Nullification to cover change for 10, or special cover change for 10 counts. That's pretty standard, pretty good. Applies buff effect, nullifies enemies to strike card effects for 10 counts. Randomly destroys one enemy card. Inflicts all enemies with minus 15% to strike, blast, special move, ultimate, and awaken power for 10 counts. So this is strong. Destroy card effect nullification. You have a lot of characters these days that destroy cards. So this is actually really strong. This is probably already going to be, I think, the most underrated part about this character is the fact that he has this. This is really strong. Applies the following effect stuff every time this character uses strike arts card. Charges unique gauge by 20%. Activates twice. This is going to be in addition to the normal charge that he gets. 15% strike damage. Applies the following effect self when enemy switches characters while this character is in the battlefield. Randomly draws one new card. 50% vanish. And it's going to reset. 20% damage inflicted for 15 counts. Multiplies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained. Wait, what? Oh, this is if... Yeah, okay, so this is if you're using this character defensively and the enemy switches while they're comboing you, he's going to go type neutral. Okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to keep track of all the damage buffs he's getting. 170, 15%. He's stacking this. And then he's getting this when the enemy switches too. So theoretically, if you enter the battlefield with this Goku and you go for a strike and the opponent switches, you're getting 35% strike damage. Okay. Nullifies enemies' wide range special arts attacks while this character's in the one of the following states: slide, moving, or standing still, sidestepping to the left or right, or receiving. Yeah, this is the same. This is the same mechanic that like transforming Yellow Jiren, transforming Red Beast, God Goku. They all have this same thing. They gotta start giving this to characters more than once. Like literally, just give it to them like 5 times. Like why not? Why not? Omega Shenron has this too. All right, unique ability number 2 has a special cover change against strike arts. Goku will get stronger and stronger as your opponent fires off big attacks. You'll even gain an endurance effect when they use Rising Rush. Plus, Goku has a unique gauge that charges when you use cards. You can draw a special arts when you fill it to max up to 4 times. Land the powerful special arts into special move arts combo. All right, so knockback against strikes, you can combo with the blue card. Charges on unique gauge. I'm just seeing how long this is. Charges on unique gauge every time this character uses an arts card while they are on the battlefield. So just normally charges. Okay, let me just... It sounds like Blue Beast to me. It sounds like it's going to be the same as Blue Beast. Let me just type like Beast. Let's see. Is it the wording? Same wording here? Yeah, same wording as Blue Beast. So it's going to be the same. Blue Beast, I think Ultra Super Gogeta is the same. So it should be pretty fast. Don't forget... Every time he enters the battlefield, he is getting 2 counts of, or two charges of this as well. So on top of you having the normal charge rate, you're getting 20% with strike cards twice, and you know you're gonna have cover null, and you're gonna be immune to card. Yeah, this guy seems pretty basic, but he's looking pretty strong actually. This is gonna be underrated. I think this is gonna be heavily underrated. Okay. So yeah, normally charges whenever he uses an arts card. So this is going to count like green cards, and ultimates are going to also affect this. Like green cards, ultimates, blue cards are all going to affect this because it's just his arts card. Applies the following effects self once unique gauge is full. Draws a special arts card next 4 times. Yeah, this is nuts because we know how strong his green is. Restores health. By the way, that also plays into the main ability thing I was talking about earlier. We went too high up. Where getting the charge rate, because think about this 50% charge rate feeds into the green card draw, because when you fill the gauge up, you're going to get the green card, and then the endurance null feeds into this because you're going to want to rush with endurance null. So I don't know, man. I feel like you're almost never going to use the ult on this character, which kind of devalues this. plus the fact that it's a ranged ult, but we'll see. Restores health by 20% and ki by 30, and then 20% damage inflicted for 30 counts. The one thing to note about this character is it doesn't reset. Like, the gauge is not going to reset itself. It's kind of like the same issue that Goku Black has, but they actually didn't design this with, like a 4-year-old in their development team, because for this character, he draws a green every time he fills the unique gauge 4 times, and then the green guaranteed draws a blue, and then the blue guaranteed resets the unique gauge. So it's theoretically supposed to flow very nicely. He's also immune to card destruction, so you're not going to have your cards destroyed to interrupt the flow of how this is supposed to go. So it seems like a very methodical character, but again, this is not like a brain-rotted developed character like Rose, where he actually has flow to what he's wanting to do here. By the way, 30 counts of damage on this. This is like Super 17. Remember how long? I think Super 17 was also 30 counts. So you have this up for like forever. This is cancelable, but I mean, you could stack this up a lot. It's super long. Following effects occur when enemy activates Rising Rush while this character is not defeated. Restores own health by 30%. Restores own health by 30% only once when it reaches 0. So he's going to get endurance here. Shortens own sub count by 5. Cancels enemies' attribute upgrades and buff effects. Okay. Yeah, that's a really... Because this is... He's doing both. He's doing everything here. He's providing himself. Cancels enemies' attribute upgrades and buff effects, and he's lowering his own sub count. And he's got endurance. You know why this is crazy too? This affects the character who's on the battlefield. So like if this Goku is on standby and you're switched in with, I don't know, you're switched in with Majin Vegeta, and an opponent, let's just say for example your opponent is using Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and your Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks opponent goes for the main ability because they want a Rising Rush and destroy Majin Vegeta and sort of like pierce through his endurance. Even though Goku's not on the battlefield, this is still gonna activate. I mean, it only activates once, but Rising Rush, how many times are you gonna use the Rising Rush, right? Majin Vegeta's gonna live. I feel like this is actually a really strong ability against other Daima Gokus. This is gonna be a really strong ability against other Daima Gokus, because this is what Daima Goku wants to do. He wants to Rising Rush with Endurance Nullification active. This is very strong right here. Applies the following effects self when enemy activates an ultimate arts or awakened arts while this character is not defeated. Restores health by 20%. He's healing a lot. He's doing 30% here. He's getting endurance here. And then he's getting 20% here. Card draw speed. He has card draw speed base form, right? Or just a base? Yeah. I guess card draw speed could actually be kind of an issue for this guy. Because he's got level 1 card draw, which is obviously expected, but he's not like drawing a card when he enters the battlefield. So I guess you have to wait until the enemy uses an ultimate to get double card draw speed. That's a pretty big weakness, actually, I think, for this character. Applies attribute upgrade, shortens sub count by 2, which is just permanent. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for 20 counts. That's for offense as well, huh? Applies the following effects self when enemy activates a blue card. Well, this character is not defeated. 10% healing, 20% damage permanently, up to 60%. 25% to ki recovery, up to 100%, and then 10% to critical rate, up to 40%. You know what this guy actually reminds me of? I don't know a better way of saying this. He's designed like a ridiculously overpowered free character. And the reason why I say that is because he's gaining all of his damage through like different conditions. Let's just add this all up. So 170 base, assuming you have all the damage buffs from the green card, he's getting 90% from the green card because it's 40, 30, and 20. So 90% there, that's going to bump this to 260. Then he's stacking 15 here every time he uses a strike. He's getting 20 here when the enemy switches. He's getting 20% for 30 counts when he fills up the unique gauge, and then he's getting up to 60 here. So this is 320 plus all the different ways he could stack damage. Plus he's going to have potentially double card draw speed. Plus he's going to have 100% to key recovery. Plus he's going to have 40% to critical rate. Plus he's going to be defending against rising rushes. Like, this all looks really, really impressive on paper, but you got to just get all these conditions fulfilled here. I think the main issue for this character actually is going to be cards. That's what I see. This is strong. This is strong. But cards are going to be the problem. He's got card draw speed here. Because the enemy has to ultimate for him to get double card draw speed. That's a very strict condition. You're not seeing enemies just ultimate like willy-nilly. If you're fighting a good player, they're not just going to throw the ultimate out. So that could be like the one weakness here. But this is incredibly powerful. I think he looks pretty good. Probably a little bit weak defensively. He's got the power down here. He's got the card destruction there. Only one card. He's got a lot of ways to heal. I don't think he'll be horrible defensively, but he seems very more so offensive, which I guess makes sense, right? I guess they're wanting you to pair this guy up with Tamagami number 3, which is why they made him purple as well. So that is going to be the breakdown for this DAIMA Super Saiyan Goku and the Tamagami number 3. Let me know what you guys think. He seems like a really strong offensive character. Him being red is nice because it's going to give us a way to deal with Majin Vegeta. This Goku having card destruction immunity also is going to let him sort of just tear through Majin Vegeta with strike cards right away, and he's not going to have to worry about Majin Vegeta's card destruction. And then he's got lock-ins with the blue cards. He's got endurance nullification with the greens. He's got a lot of Dragon Balls acquisition. Well, I guess it's just main ability here, but yeah, seems pretty good. I just think cards could be an issue here. We'll see. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.